Hi everybody, this is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Football Hut. I hope you like this video and subscribe. So, as you know, don't know, the Giants are terrible. They're 1-4. They lost to the Dolphins. The Dolphins took mercy on them. They could have destroyed them in the first half yesterday on Sunday. But they did not. Instead, they lost a rather embarrassing game. Giants didn't tackle. Again, the offense was nowhere to be found. Daniel Jones was sacked, 6 more times, and his backup, Tyrod Taylor, he was sacked too. Now Daniel Jones signed a big contract for 4 years for $160 million. Now, he left the game early yesterday because of a neck injury. According to Giants head coach Brian Dable, he said that he's probably going to play on Sunday, but we'll see. This is a bad situation right now with the Giants. And obviously all the parasites, all the personalities on WFAN are attacking the Giants. And really, this is what they do best. They've been very unproductive. They do nothing but complain. And they try to pretend that they are the fan. They are not the fan. They are a spokesperson for their corporation, CBS. Now, I goofed on him the other day on Friday on the Baseball Hut 2. If you don't know, the New York Mets hired a new executive, and within the first 4 days, he was calling for him to be fired, and calling him such names as Mr. Dweeb. So Greg Giannotti, is a little cuckoo, and I'm not just saying that. He has said he's had mental health issues, which is probably more like mental health problems. I would say that if you watch him when he does these videos, he's all like haggard. He's always like on, he can't sit up straight. Does he realize that his show is simulcast? Does he realize that? Well, now he's calling for the Giants to get rid of Daniel Jones, cut ties, which is probably you're talking about a blind squirrel getting a nut. Well, this is what Gio is suggesting that the Giants do. This is from Odyssey.com. Now, I am not watching these shows and listen to all the dead air that goes on. Odyssey.com puts out the highlights, and I read the articles. I love to play you these clips, but according to YouTube, and specifically when it comes to Boomer and Gio, I cannot play their clips. They hit me with a copyright strike. Not that I've done it on this particular channel, but they've done that to me in the past. So I cannot use any of their clips or any other. I don't want to be bothered with WFAN's nonsense. So I'd rather read it through my own voice, and you can just imagine. I don't even know what Gio's voice sounds like. This is what his real voice is. Because he's always doing these impressions of all these different people. When he's not doing these impressions, he's very angry. So his real voice is that of a very angry individual. But here's the headline from Odyssey.com. Gio, Giants need to consider using contract clause to cut ties with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones struggled again for the Giants on Sunday, once again dealing with nearly non-existent pass protection before leaving the fourth quarter with a neck injury after being sacked for the 6th time. You can't win, folks. You cannot win if your team cannot defend your quarterback, can't protect your quarterback. And they've been unable to do that. He's been sacked 12 times in the last 2 weeks. That's not a winning team. That's a loser. They're a losing team, losing organization right now. As Big Blue appears to be cratering at 1-4, Gio wonders if it's time for the Giants to ponder getting out of their deal with Jones, which they would be able to do after the 24th season given the terms of his 4-year contract. Quote, you really do have to look at how you can get out of his contract, Gio said. Yeah, they guaranteed him a lot of money, but you can still get out of the contract with decent dead cap hit. You can get out after 24 if this thing goes haywire. Hasn't it gone haywire already? New York does have an out after next season that would require eating $18 million in dead money, but would save $21.5 million in cap space, Gio says. Given the elite quarterback talent at the top of the draft in Caleb Williams and the team's bleak outlook for the rest of the year, it is something the front office needs to consider. Quote, let's say, God forbid, they have a 3-win season and they're right up there and they want to draft one of these quarterbacks, Gio said. And remember, Joe Schoen didn't draft Daniel Jones. If he wants to go in a different direction, he can do it and move on from Daniel Jones after 2024. Whoever gets Williams is going to be in the driver's seat. That is franchise changing until he plays poorly in the first game and Gio will go on the air, all haggard, like he always does, all haggard, slumped over on his desk, complaining about that kid, whatever kid they draft. because they sway from one end to the other end. And then when you ask them, when you confront them, when you corner them in one of their, when you call up, if you're able to call. This isn't the old days when you used to be able to call on a regular basis on these different programs. They take your call because they have an agenda. They screen your call to make sure that you don't go off the reservation in terms of what their narrative is. And if it is, they scream at you. They scream at you. But these are guys, obviously, they think they know everything. So just because they're on their air every day and they watch the games and they pretend to be fans of these teams, they think they are an expert. These guys aren't experts. They're just blowhards. And you don't need to be an athlete to understand what's going on. Unless the Giants give protection to Daniel Jones, he's not going to play well. When they gave him some protection last year, he played like an MVP last year. When you're rushing to make throws, you're getting contact on you from defenders. How you going to win that way? You can't win. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's about as simple a way of describing what's been going on here with the Giants for years. For years. There's no defense with the Giants. They don't tackle. The offensive line is horrendous. They spent so much money in the offseason to improve it, and there's been no improvement. I don't know what the problem is. How many administrations and how many coaches are the Giants going to have to go through to figure this out? I don't know. At some point, you're going to have to ask yourself, is there a problem with ownership? Which is very unusual. The Giants have been very stable with their ownership for a long time. But ownership has to look at themselves in the mirror and see what are they doing differently. That is bringing this apocalypse on us as fans. But Greg Giannotti is like the rest of these clowns. There's nothing that he's saying that anyone else is saying that's different on the fan. So I will continue to goof on them on this channel, on the Baseball Hut too, and hope you subscribe to the Football Hut here. Hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of fun here, believe it or not. And thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to Football Hut, and I'll see you later.